Guys, Caleb here, and today I'm incredibly excited to compare two of my favorite sets under $100, being the LEGO Creator Expert Fiat 500 and the LEGO Ideas Steamboat Willie. Obviously, the main thing that these two sets have in common is that they are $90, and while they might not look exactly alike, they have a lot more in common that you might initially think. So today, we're going to go over quick both of these sets and compare them. Using this handy dandy chart I made, we'll be taking a look at the playability, displayability, value, durability, and my biased thoughts to reveal the total out of 50. Also, pardon, I have a little bit of paint on my hands, so I was painting earlier today, but the total will be out of 50, and obviously the one with the more points will be the winner of this round of versus. Thinking about making this a series comparing, sets of the same value or that are very similar. So let me know in the comments if you think that's a good idea to sort of compare two sets that are similar. Around for my channel for at least a week or two. I'm sure the Fiat will need no introduction because I've already compared it to the Aston Martin and did a whole review of it, but we are going to go over it pretty fast here. Oh, this brick fell out. We have the two side builds here, one being the little suitcase with the extra license plate in it, and one being the painting with the little, stand. As the display goes, I think this bright yellow color suits it very, very well and looks really, really cool in display with this bright yellow color. I really, really love the color of the car. And it's just a very aesthetically pleasing, car, of course. Obviously, the front can pop up, and there is a small spare tire in there. A little bit hard to get out, but that's alright. And obviously, this thing can roll pretty well on some wheels. Obviously, Steamboat Willie has hidden wheels. We will get to that in a minute. This does definitely have a bit more interior with 4 seats, technically. Well, actually, seats 4. There's one really big stool back there, but obviously we can pop the roof up and down, which is a very, very cool feature. You can also pop the roof up on Steamboat Willie. We'll compare that in a minute. Obviously, the doors open to get some better access to the interior, and if you really want to access the back seat better, you can fold both of these seats up to get a little bit of a better view at the back seat there. So this definitely has a very, very good, spacious, roomy interior, which I can't exactly say the same for Steamboat Willie. So on the back here, we have the engine in the back here, and as this is an Italian old-fashioned car, the engine is in the back, and obviously the trunk was in the front. We just showed that, but that folds right up very well. And so those are the main play features you have in this set. There's definitely quite a few because obviously you have the hood, you have the doors that open, you have the seats that fold up, you have the roof that folds up, and you have the engine. So in total, 5 features, and obviously I guess you could count rolling as a 6th feature, but literally every single LEGO car out there does that these days. Like, you can't buy a LEGO set that, just doesn't roll. And so, obviously, that's not really a feature in my opinion. As far as the durability of the car goes, it's a very, very tough car. Like, I rolled it down my driveway earlier in the review. You can check that out. But it's very, very sturdy. You can knock it from most places, and it really isn't going to come apart. You can pick it up by most places. You can even actually pick it up by the door if you do it carefully, which you can do with most creator cars. But Steamboat Willie definitely is not that sturdy. We'll compare that in a minute. And this is a very, very sturdy car. You don't really have to worry. Why does this piece keep coming out? You don't really have to worry about it falling apart on you, except for that stupid tiny piece there. But this thing, it's a very, very tough car. Definitely tougher than the SS Willie. Results for the Fiat 500 have the playability at a 7.5. I just think that Steamboat Willie might actually have a little bit more playability than this. The displayability, 9, looks very good on display. Value, 8, which, it is the same value as Steamboat Willie. We'll get to that in a minute here. Durability, 9 out of 10, incredibly durable. My biased thoughts are 8 out of 10. It's just that I definitely have more nostalgia for Steamboat Willie, as I've owned it for almost 2 years now, leaving the total at 41.5 out of 50. So it's going to be pretty hard for Steamboat Willie to beat that score. Yes, here is Steamboat Willie. I'm sure that was quite cringy. See, obviously, this set looks incredible on display, and any Disney fan is immediately going to recognize this from the 1928 short film Steamboat Willie. Recognizable for any Disney fan, really. I'm not like a massive Disney fan, but I really like, old-fashioned LEGO sets like this, I guess. And when I saw this, I saved up my money and immediately bought it once I had the money. And I definitely am not disappointed. I've had this since September of 2019, so almost 2 years. Coming up on 2 years. Definitely one of my older LEGO sets I have. So I have generally a bit more nostalgia versus a set that's less than 10 days old for me. See, while the Fiat has the painting in the suitcase, Steamboat Willie also has its own little standalone side, being this brilliant little Mickey Mouse thing, which also doubles as a minifig stand. We'll get to that in a minute, but it's really up to you on which one of these little side builds is better. Personally, I think I like the Fiat's just a little bit better than the Steamboat Willie, although the Steamboat Willie does have this very, very nice printed piece on the bottom of there. But it's really up to you on which of the side builds. I just think it's interesting that with both of these $90 sets, you're both getting a very, very good side build with each of the sets, which is great. One big draw for Steamboat Willie is that it includes 2 minifigures. The Fiat, on the other hand, has no minifigs. So if you're a minifig collector, then definitely go for Steamboat Willie, as obviously this has 2 minifigs, with the Fiat having none. So if you care about minifigures and want 2 very, very excellent minifigs, some of my favorite minifigs I own, then definitely go for the Steamboat Willie. Playability of the Steamboat Willie, obviously the Fiat has a bunch of small features. Instead of a bunch of small features, this really has one really big main feature, which is obviously the fact that when you roll it, the steam stacks actually go up and down, and the actual thing twist, which is incredibly, incredibly cool. It actually runs on this secret hidden track that's incredibly colorful underneath of there, and that's really how it works, and it's really a brilliant, brilliant design. Very, very complicated. Had a lot of trouble building this because it was just so hard and I was a lot younger, but it's very, very an incredible feature and really puts, you know, the Fiat almost to shame because this feature is just so cool on a Lego set. The main feature, I suppose, is you can pop off the roof to get a small access to the interior. Fiat definitely has better interior, as this is very, very almost lacking, although it does have the little, you know, life preservers, even the little bell that he rings, and of course the very iconic scene with Mickey, you know, whistling there. We can fit Mickey in there, and the roof shuts up, which is actually surprising. Even when he's wearing his, you know, very, very tall hat, it still shuts up quite fine, and we even have the 3 little whistles up there. The feature that this set has is the little crane here, where you can pretty much crank it down, and I've tested this out. This goes super, super far, and it goes surprisingly far. Like, it went almost to the bottom of my dresser. Like, you can really get this with a lot of, you know, different ways, and it's a really cool little feature to have in the set. I wish the set had more interior. Obviously, it has these blank windows, but there's the scene in Steamboat Willie where he's shucking the potatoes, and you have the little pots and pans back there, but you don't have any little hidden room there. Obviously, that's sacrificed for this incredible play feature. Maybe if they didn't have that play feature, they could fit stuff in there. But the interior is just slightly lacking on this set. Obviously, there's a little bit more of it in the Fiat. It is pretty sturdy, but this crane is always flipping loose in the back. And I guess it is pretty sturdy, although there are, you know, little loose components like the minifigs and stuff. It is, I guess, generally a pretty sturdy model. While we read these scores, the SS Willie has a 9.5 out of playability. Really incredible playability. I love the smokestack feature. It's really just an incredible feature on the set. Displayability 8 out of 10. I generally think the Fiat actually looks a little bit better on display. This is just a little blocky, and obviously the real boat's blocky, but I just generally think the Fiat looks a little bit better on display. Durability 8 out of 10. Pretty durable set. Biased thoughts 9 out of 10. I've just had so much nostalgia for this set versus a set that I got only about 10 days ago, leaving the total 43 out of 50, beating the Fiat 500 by 1.5 points. Very, very close. Which one of these is better? It looks like Steamboat Willie came on top by only 1.5 points, beating the Fiat. Yet again, the Aston Martin also beat it. However, you can't go wrong with any of these. Obviously, if you're a Disney fan, I would definitely say go for Steamboat Willie, but if you're just a car guy like me, then go for the Fiat. You know, like, the Fiat's not a bad option either. It really depends on what exactly you're into. I'm not going to be screwing up with either of these. I can tell you these are both my 2 favorite sets under $100 because they're both great value, both $90, which is definitely the main thing they have in common. They are basically almost the same size if we get a top shot view of it here. They really are almost the same length and really about the same width, which is very surprising. Like, they're both only about 12 or 14 studs wide, but they're both really, generally, I would say, about the same size. Steamboat Willie wins this round. Let me know in the comments which set you like better, which set you think should have won. Hopefully, I helped you out if you're deciding between both of these sets, because you really can't go wrong with either of these sets. This is Seabrook Productions, sign off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned because I have some pretty big videos coming soon. And I'll see you guys later. Peace!